champion Lynn Boyer and Marco Oberg, ranked #1 going into this event, duel for the title of world champion. And then from the largest city in the world, Shanghai.
From pandas here at the zoo to some burly boys of a different sort. Hello, everybody. I'm Bob Costas along with Doug Cooney. We're here for World Invitational Weightlifting from Shanghai, China. We're going to see 12 nations represented in what should be an interesting competition.
It will be very exciting, Bob. For the first time, we're seeing the Chinese participate in that competition in their own country. We're very excited to see how they do, in particular in the lighter divisions. The American squad, and this is the U.S.Olympic weightlifting team we'll be seeing, will be headed by our two super heavyweights, Jerry Hannan and Tom Stock.
Shanghai might well be the best example in all of China of how the old ideas can coexist with the new. The city dates back to the 11th century. It's one of the most populous in China with its 12 million people, and it's always been notorious. For the Opium Wars, for its role in foreign trade, it was here that Mao founded the Chinese Communist Party in the 1920s, and it was here that the Gang of Four rose to power. You can see the new and the old living together. With Japan second and the USA third. But now these totals ought to change a bit. All Chinese team members have competed, and the U.S. is now about to show off its best lifters as the big guys take over. In the 220-pound class, here are the standings midway through. The snatch competition complete. Bert Squires of Canada, the leader. Joe Puleo and Brian Derwin of the United States following up. Puleo in second place with the same lift as Derwin due to the fact that Puleo is the lighter man. He gets it on body weight.
He does, Bob. And as you go into the overall, of course, the total determines the placing within each weight category. Joe Puleo coming out for his second attempt, 185 kilograms, 407 pounds in the bar.
Into the clean and jerk competition now. And this fella is an amazing story. He is 38 years of age.
Last time we saw Joe was at the 1970 World Championships. Here he is 10 years later, still competing.
He was the captain of the 1968 United States Olympic weightlifting team.
Clean looked very strong. Joe gets it up the rest of the way. It's 407 pounds. Nice lift for Joe Puleo of the United States. By the way, Bob, this is the heaviest division that Joe has ever competed in. This is the 100-kilogram division. See the bar catching it right here? Joe keeping his elbows up, what you want to do in weightlifting. He'll take a dip and thrust the weight overhead, bring his feet back in line to show control.
And so we asked Joe Puleo, why a comeback at 38?
What motivated me recently is the fact that I wanted to see what I could do with my body after being 38 years old. I wanted to see if I could reach a competitive level internationally, and it was more or less that challenge that inspired me to compete in the Olympic tryouts and make the Olympic team.
Now Joe, with his third attempt in the clean and jerk, he ups it to 190 kilos or 418 3/4 pounds.
And Bob, this is 7.5 kilograms more than Joe's ever succeeded with in competition before. Let's see if he can make it. A little shaky at the top here as he steadies himself. No, looks like his left leg cramped.
He goes limping off. What did he do wrong?
Well, it's hard to say. He was good in the clean, even though it was a bit of an effort.
Perhaps just too much weight?
Hard to say. You just see at this point, Joe gets underneath the weight. He actually got it higher than he had to for the clean. Stood up with it, keeping his elbows up. He gets settled here, but it looks like he's having a bit of a problem settling with his legs. You can see the movement there. And right there, his left leg appears to be cramping up.
Bert Squires of Canada. He is the leader through the first half of the competition, but he is battling a back problem.
Bob, in terms of this competition, I'm surprised to see Bert going up this heavy. This is 418 pounds he's taking for his last attempt.
He already has a 396-pound effort, a successful one in the books, in the clean and jerk competition. A moment ago, however, he missed at 407 pounds. Now, with the back hurting, he's moving up to 418. If he's successful with this, it would all but wrap up the competition since he had a very good mark in the snatch.
It would certainly put a lot of pressure on Brian Derwin of the United States, who's yet to come out for his second attempt.
Third and final, clean and jerk for Bert Squires.
It's pretty low on the clean. Let's see if he can stand up. He's having problems here. Look at Bob. His arms are quivering. That's not good. That back injury is obviously giving him problems now. He's trying to block it out of his mind. He's unsuccessful.
And so the back continues to cost Bert Squires. Not only is he hurting physically, but his lead is now in definite jeopardy. He has to be helped from the platform, and he has Brian Derwin to think about. Derwin is preparing for a 424-pound clean and jerk effort. If he gets it, he'll be the winner. We'll be back to find out if he can in just a minute.
The win. Good clean. Gets it in very easily, Bob. Brian gets set for the jerk. Dips. Thrust it overhead very easily. Brian Derwin winning the 100-kilogram division here in Shanghai.
The 29-year-old native of New Jersey comes from behind to take his gold medal.
What a strong lift all the way through. Watch Brian lifting well within himself here. 424 pounds. You can actually see the barbell begin to bend here as he cleans it, keeping the elbows up, getting set at the top. Punches it right overhead. Actually not splitting very deep.
You know, he still had another attempt left if he had failed on that one.
Here goes Brian on his third attempt, Bob. 200 kilograms, 440 pounds, and look at that muscular development.
This is just icing on the cake for him. The competition already in the bag.
Bob, like a true champion, Brian isn't settling just for the win. He's going to say, I'm capable of more. So he's attempting 200 kilograms, 440 pounds.
It would not be a personal best. He has done 207.5 kilograms in the past. He's not up to it this time. Despite this miss, however, he finishes first. Joe Puleo came in second, despite being hobbled by a leg injury. Here's Doug with Joe.
How's the knee? What happened to it?
Well, I felt something pop, and then I couldn't put any weight on it, so I had to limp off. It doesn't hurt. It just is causing me to limp a little bit. I'm favoring it. I don't think it's too serious. The Chinese doctor just looked at it and said that it wasn't too serious, so he just had to stay off of it for 48 hours. So I think I'll just follow it.
Well, toes hurt pretty seriously. I've only been walking for about 5 days now. I hurt it pretty bad. Pulled a lot of ligaments and tendons under there. So unfortunately, it's my big toe, and that's a pretty important toe when it comes to lifting the barbell off the floor or jerking the weight. So other than that, I'm in the best shape of my life, but that is going to be a factor in the competition. As of right now, I'm not even really sure if I'm going to compete.
Whether or not Jerry can go will depend upon how he feels in warm-ups a bit later. Meanwhile, here's Dimitrios Zaravatsidis of Greece, a 250-pounder, attempting to lift 160 kilograms or 352.5 pounds in this, his third snatch attempt.
Bob, in terms of this competition at the super heavyweight level, Dimitrios is somewhat a disadvantage given the body weight factor. He only weighs 250 pounds. He's actually competed at both the 242-pound division and the super heavyweights. Here he goes, 352 pounds for the lifter who placed 8th in the Olympics. Gets under the weight very quickly. Stands up.
Rather nimble for a 250-pounder.
And as the competition continues, let's go backstage and see how Jerry Hannan is doing in the warm-up area.
Here's a contrast. Zaravatsidis at 250 pounds. Here is Hannan, a 335-pounder. But that size won't do him any good if the toe will not cooperate.
Bob, he looks rather tight there on his warm-up attempt backstage. Doesn't look too good for Jerry at this point. Here we see Tom Stock, the United States, coming out for his first attempt. 167.5 kilograms, 369 pounds, just 11 pounds shy of his best ever, Bob.
And the decision on Hannan, a few minutes away at least. Stock now leading off for the Americans. Is he the best American super heavy?
Well, he and Jerry are very close in ability. We'll see here. His opener looks very sharp. 369 pounds for Tom Stock. Waits for the head referee to say down. Kind of looks at the barbell saying, I'll be back for more.
Kind of hard to believe that this big guy could give away any size to anybody. But he is outweighed by 34 pounds by Jerry Hannan.
Bob, you see the scoreboard there. 3 lines, red lights, indicate Jerry Hannan has withdrawn.
So Hannan was forced to bow out by the injured big toe, and that means that this man, 301-pound Tom Stock from Belleville, Illinois, is the super heavyweight hope for the Americans.
What an exciting attempt we're going to be seeing Tom take here. 175 kilograms, 385 pounds. This will be a new personal record for Stock. He's never made this much before in competition. Putting the rosin on the feet, putting the chalk on the hands to secure the grip. Tom is approaching 400 pounds in the snatch competition. Remember, you must take the bar from the floor to overhead in one continuous motion in this, the snatch competition.
In 1979, Stock took 3 gold medals at the Pan American Games. In 1978, he was the United States national champion. A year ago, he had to miss the World Championships because of a pulled leg muscle.
Here he goes, Bob. 175 kilograms, 385 pounds, a new personal record for Tom Stock. Lifting well within himself here in Shanghai, China. What an exciting lift for Tom. His second attempt. He has another one coming.
Of course, what is well within the limits of Tom Stock's ability is beyond the reach of most.
That's right. Look at Tom getting underneath the bar very quickly, steps forward. As long as he stays on the platform, the lift is considered good by the referees.
Tom Stock is hot, but an injured Jerry Hannan is on the sidelines. Here's Doug with him.
Jerry, what happened? You had to withdraw.
Well, the toe was a little worse than I thought. I thought it might be a little better healed by now, but we had it all taped up, and I really couldn't continue without a risk of further injury to it, and it was pretty painful. I couldn't lift properly, so I decided it would be in my best interest to withdraw.
Tom Stock now steps back on stage, his third snatch attempt, 391 pounds.
Bob, what exciting competition we're seeing here. Tom has already wrapped up the snatch competition, but he's going to put distance on the competitors. Here goes, 391 pounds. He's never done this much before. He has now lifted well within himself. Tom Stock dominating the super heavyweight competition here in Shanghai. Look at him, give the nod to the crowd. I'm the leader, he says. No question about it. Tom Stock taking a commanding lead.
The second half of the super heavyweight competition, the clean and jerk, is still to come when Sports World returns to Shanghai. Scoreboard reflecting all that we've seen so far. Bob Costas with Doug Cooney. Why is this man smiling? One Dimitrios Zaravatsidis of Greece. Well, let's take a look at why.
This is 205 kilograms, 451 pounds, Bob. Dimitrios cleaning the weight very easily, getting set at this point. Coming up, it's a bit of a problem at the top here. He's adjusting, sets, to that determination in the face. Rams the weight overhead, 451 pounds for the Greek lifter, and he holds on to secure second place.
That was his second clean and jerk try of the day. He has one more coming if he wants it, but we're informed from the sidelines he'll pass, he'll call it a day, he will take second place. 1 minute, Tom. Meanwhile, the leader, Tom Stock, forges onward. This is second clean and jerk attempt, 212.5 kilos lifted already by Tom. He'll go now for 222.5, which is 490.5 pounds.
And Bob, just incredible lifting we're seeing here in Shanghai. Tom is going to be attempting 490.5 pounds, as you said. This will give him a 400-kilo total, 880 pounds in the overall. Here he goes, gets the weight up to the shoulders. Slight adjustment at the top. See if Tom can get his 400-kilogram total here. Tremendous lifting. Tom Stock not only doing 490.5 pounds, a personal record, but achieving a 400-kilogram total. And Bob, as any weightlifter will tell you, the 400-kilogram total was the magic number in the sport of weightlifting, just as the 4-minute mile is to the runner.
And with this lift, Stock officially wraps up first place and the gold medal.
Dipping here with 490.5 pounds. Look at the barbell bend. Tom gets it to arm's length without any problem whatsoever, and he holds on.
He has one lift left if he wants it, and he does. The bar is going to be set at 227.5 kilos. That's 501.5 pounds, and not too many Americans have ever cleaned and jerked over 500 pounds.
Well, to be exact, Tom will be the third American ever to do so. Ken Patera was the first as a super heavyweight. Mark Cameron as a heavyweight was the second. And now Tom Stock will attempt to be the third American ever to lift 500 pounds in the clean and jerk. 501 to be exact.
And how these spectators in China have reacted, especially to the big lifters like Stock.
Oh, they have responded very enthusiastically, and as Tom Stock chalks up. Let's point out this weight is 200 pounds over body weight. So even though Tom is a super heavyweight, this feat of strength would be truly amazing if successful.
He has exceeded this total in practice, but never in competition.
And the two are different. This is really where you test yourself in front of the audience and your competitors. Tom Stock, look at that concentration, Bob. 501.5 pounds in the bar.
And you can hear the soft words of encouragement from his teammates and the American coaches on the sidelines.
Here he goes. Let's see if Tom Stock can be the third American to clean and jerk 500 pounds.
Trouble's here.
No. It's like his leg is cramped up.
No, no.
Bob, he's in pain. I've never seen anything like this in weightlifting before.
No.
Bob, I can only guess, but looking from where they're spraying it, something around the knee, perhaps a muscle pull, a tendon. Not really sure.
Was it the weight that Tom was attempting that was responsible here, or could it have happened at a lesser weight?
Bob, it's quite possible at a lesser weight there was a slight injury incurred, and hitting the weight at this point just caused that to give way.
Tom has had problems with injuries in the past, but quite possibly this is the most severe of all.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully it's not too serious, but as you see Tom getting under 501.5 pounds, gets the weight in good position, but his leg just seems to give way at this point, his right leg.
He had won the championship, but that gold medal is small consolation now. The big fella will have to be carried off. And what a pleasant giant Tom Stock is. Likable, friendly, articulate, and America's top super heavyweight.
Bob, let's hope the injury is not a serious one. Let's wish Tom a speedy recovery, and I bet we do see him in competition again.
Before the injury fell in, Tom had established a huge margin over his super heavyweight competition. In the overall standings, the host team, the Chinese, came in first. Their lighter lifters were really outstanding in the early stages of the competition. The American big boys closed the gap later on, and the American team comes in second in the overall standings. For Doug Cooney, I'm Bob Costas. We had a wonderful time here, and now we bid you so long from Shanghai, China.
Dealers are combining ingenuity